Look, here's my chicken and potatoes after cooking. The largest air fryer in the world. Does that ring a bell to you? With the most innovative option of 2023, you can either have the possibility of 2 independent bins or a massive and single bin. It has a total capacity of 10 liters for. And it's Ninja Kitchen France that released this new craziness. Hello everyone, we're here today in a new video. I'm going to introduce you to the largest air fryer in the world. It's the Air Fryer Dual AF500 Flex drawer. It was delivered to me with instructions in French and a recipe book, along with cooking charts for the modes. Today, we're going to break it down together. Welcome to my Teleshopping 3.0 by Malvis Cooking, but without beating around the bush. We're going to dissect everything. I'll explain all the modes, everything it can do, its advantages, disadvantages. We'll try it, of course, in this video. We'll also look at the differences with other models. Can it be good? Not so good. I'll also give you its external and internal dimensions. We're going to try the air fryer without further ado. So with fresh potatoes. Look, isn't it nice? I found some little accessories like that. I'll put the link below the video if you're interested. I thought it was cool. You can make slightly roasted fried vegetables with shapes like that. You can make onions, carrots, sweet potatoes. And here, this time I'm going to try it with potatoes because I've tried it with other vegetables, but not with potatoes. After that, you can cut regular fries as usual. We're going to try that on one side and chicken on the other side. Now, you do need to have a knack for it, but it cuts well. Ta-dam! Come on, let's not waste a minute. So, I prepared my chicken with olive oil and spices. As usual, I had made a complete video of the recipe for you. I'll share it again if needed. This, when you have an air fryer, is a very useful purchase, but not just anyone, because this is the first time I found a spray bottle that sprays properly and doesn't get clogged, because often with olive oil, it gets clogged, you see the hose. This one is really good. If you decide to buy an air fryer, it's a useful purchase. I'll also leave the link below the video in the description. Well then, I put my potatoes in there. I'm going to show you the spray bottle, so as it's cool. All right, here we go, my friend. Look at this. See the power of pitch it? All right, 3 spritzes, in my opinion, are enough. With the spices, I'm going to coat everything. A bit of salt, a bit of paprika for my part, and potato spices. Yes, they exist. It's a blend of herbs, Provence herbs, oregano, and all that. There you go. We're going for rustic potatoes. A little like this, you know. I'm going to put the potatoes in a special air fryer parchment paper, like this. Because I don't really want to mess up the tray of my air fryer. And most importantly, with this, it won't affect the cooking, if you will. With other accessories, it can affect the cooking. I'll talk about that in a future video. On the other hand, I'm going to put the chicken directly in the basket because, in fact, what's good is that when the chicken fries and grills, the chicken fat will drip below the air fryer grates. And I don't really like eating chicken that's too greasy, swimming in its oil. As a result, it's going to make juice. You can recover the juice at the end of cooking and eat it with your chicken. But I prefer not to put baking paper under my chicken. It's just a choice on my part based on my experience. Of course, you do as you please. I take my chicken, I put it in the tray right here, and the fries right here. I'm putting parchment paper under the fries so I can stir them a bit halfway through cooking. I'll shake them. Look, ta-dam! I'm getting my fingers dirty. Okay, here we go. Well, I'll start it up. I turn it on. Zone 1, chicken, air fryer, chicken. With this model, we have the option to choose temperatures in increments of 5 compared to the AF400 and AF300 models, where it's in increments of 10. We go from 180 to 190, 200, 210 degrees. Here, it's 210, 205, 200, 205 in 5s. And that's a real plus. So I'm going to set my chicken to 205 degrees for 45 minutes, knowing that halfway through I'll turn the chicken on the other side. In fact, I'll turn it halfway through. For zone 2, the rustic fries with my little fry cutter gadget, I'm going to set the air fryer to 180 degrees. And there, I think I'll set it for 17 minutes. That should be enough based on my experiences. After that, I could be wrong. I press the sync button, of course, so that everything is ready and hot at the same time. Here we go. Let's go. And when there are exactly 17 minutes left for the chicken to cook, the fries will start at the same time as the chicken. This way, everything will be hot and ready at the same time. At the halfway point, as I explained, I'm going to flip my chicken. I'll also shake my potatoes at the halfway point, check them, and turn them if necessary. You can hear the noise the air fryer makes. I don't find it to be loud. The Ninja air fryers, for me, are not really noisy. However, I've seen people on TikTok in particular who found this air fryer noisy compared to other models. I don't think so. It depends on the chosen mode. In air fryer mode, it's the mode that makes the most noise. If you choose the dehydration mode, for example, you won't have any noise when you make your yogurt. And the bake mode too is really very quiet. You can hardly hear the air fryer when it's running. So this is really a good example that I'm showing you today. In terms of noise, it will be the loudest thing. I don't find it really noisy. The Ninja AF500 Air Fryer has a power of 2,470 watts. So this means that this air fryer is very powerful. The device is guaranteed for 2 years, like all devices from Ninja Kitchen France. And of course, I'll leave the link to the device below the video in the description. Here's my chicken and potatoes after cooking. So I chose the right modes, the right cooking time, etc., etc. Know that chicken in the air fryer, personally, at least in my taste, I find it better than in the oven. It takes less time and is more practical. You don't have to baste it, open the oven every 5 minutes. And here, on the other hand, I collected the juices that were at the bottom of the air fryer trays and poured them directly over the chicken at the end of cooking. And without further ado, I present to you the different modes of the fryer. Here you have the main button to turn it on. When you turn it on, you get the message, hello. We have different modes. We choose and select them using the dial. The left arrows are for adjusting the temperature of the modes, and the arrows here on the right are for setting the cooking time. As for the drawers, you have either zone 1, the left zone, zone 2, the right zone, or the MEGAZONE. You can perfectly cook 2 different things in zone 1 and zone 2 that will not have the same cooking mode at all. For example, you can put air fryer on the left and dehydration mode on the right if you like. And it won't be necessary to set the same cooking time. You can do the cooking times and modes you want at the same time. Here, if you decide to remove the divider between the 2 drawers, you'll need to select MEGAZONE. Max Crisp is for all your frozen foods. So, for example, chicken nuggets, but for me, I do use it for other things, especially for grilling my peppers, making pepper salads, chili, eggplants. I use the Max Crisp mode. Then we have the air fryer mode. So this is to give crispiness to your food with a little oil or no oil at all. For example, if you decide to make frozen fries, you won't use oil, but if you're going to make fresh fries, you'll add 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil according to what is recommended in the instruction manual. So air fryer is for frying with a little oil or no oil at all. The roast mode for roasting, which is often suitable for meats, making tender meats, roasting your vegetables, etc. The bake mode, often used to bake pastries, cookies, shortbread, all kinds of pastries according to your taste. The reheat mode, which will help you warm up with a gentle temperature to avoid assaulting your food. For example, you'll warm up leftovers to make them hot and crispy again. So, with the reheat mode. On my old Ninja air fryers, I also used this mode to cook hard-boiled eggs. But on this model, it no longer goes down to the reheat mode at 130, like on the dual AF400 and AF300. So now, to cook hard-boiled eggs with the AF500, I do it with the bake mode and always hard-boiled eggs at 130 degrees for 15 minutes. Next, we have the dehydrate mode for dehydrating, for example, your toast to make charcuterie, aromatic herbs, or even I make my yogurt. Yes, so no need for a yogurt maker when you have the air fryer Ninja. It goes down to 40 degrees, which corresponds to the fermentation temperature. I'll try to show you pictures of my yogurts. So for 8 hours of fermentation at 40 degrees for yogurts. I also make my meringues to cook my meringues. I had made a beautiful pavlova. I'll also show you the photos. I set it to 90 degrees for an hour, 90 degrees for an hour to bake meringues. And here we have a new mode, brand new on this model that we don't have on other Air Fryer Ninja models. It's the Prove mode. So the Prove mode is for proofing your dough, your brioche dough, your bread dough more quickly and efficiently than at room temperature. For example, if you don't have the Prove mode on your air fryer, you'll need to put your bread dough, your brioche dough, in a bowl covered with a cloth in a warm place for the dough to rise well. You see what I mean with the Prove mode? You have two temperatures, either 35 degrees, here again the time you want, 35 degrees or 75 degrees. So for all kinds of bread dough, brioche dough by the way, I just baked a brioche in my air fryer the day before yesterday. I'll also show you pictures. I had done stories on Instagram. By the way, for those who are not subscribed to my other social networks, it's time to do it. I leave the link in the description below the video. So 35 degrees for an hour, your dough will double in volume. So my brioche dough, you'll see how I've done it. You'll see that. And 75 degrees, well, 75 degrees, I read the instruction manual because it seemed a bit curious to me. I didn't find it. If you know, you can tell me in the comments. I made a theory. I don't know if my theory is correct. You'll tell me what you think in the comment section. But 75 degrees, I feel like it's the temperature that's suitable for sous vide cooking. So, am I right? Am I wrong? You can give me your opinion in the comment section, which would be welcome. We also have on this model the synchronization button and the match button. So for those who still don't know what these two functions correspond to, it's simple. Synchronize on this side, I'll give you a simple example. For instance, I'm going to put my chicken here. Okay, my chicken will need about, depending on its weight, 45 minutes of cooking. Are we in agreement? On the right, I'm going to put my homemade fries. My homemade fries with homemade potatoes will take about 20 minutes to cook. Okay, so 45 minutes, 20 minutes. These are not the same cooking times, but it means that with the synchronization button, before starting your cooking, if you press this button, it will synchronize the two cooking times, and the fries as well as my chicken will be ready at the same time. At the end, so of course when I'm going to put my fries here and my chicken here and press synchronize, the chicken will start cooking and the fries will show old. It means it keeps the food, and as soon as there's the same amount of cooking time left, the right drawer will start, and that way the chicken and fries will be ready at the same time. The synchronization function is magnificent. It's essential on an air fryer. I find the dual drawer feature beautiful. And the match button, it's straightforward. It's used to duplicate zone 1 like zone 2. For example, I put fries here and nuggets here. I decide to put the same mode and the same temperature. Well, I'm going to program my fries, for example, 20 minutes in air fry mode at 200 degrees. That's an example. And the nuggets will require the same temperature and time. Instead of bothering to program drawer 2 and redoing all this tinkering, in fact, I would just have to press match. It will set the same mode exactly. So this is really to duplicate zone 1 like zone 2. And here on this very innovative model, so this is super innovative in 2023 on air fryers, it's the basis and it's the top, I find. Honestly, you'll be able to bake big cakes, skewers, roast beef, 2 chickens, 2 or 3 chickens if you want, depending on their size. Of course, you have the space. If you have a large family, and even if you don't have a large family, it can be very useful to be able to separate the 2 drawers. And don't worry, because I've often had this question in the comment section. If you cook with the divider, a chicken here and a cake here, for example, your chicken won't take on the taste of the cake, and the cake won't take on the taste of the chicken. The odors don't mix, and neither do the flavors. Let's be clear here. If you put a chicken directly in the basket and a cake here, for example, the chicken juice won't go into the cake either. Look at what they've done, how they've done it. I took the liberty of removing the cooking grids, which are very useful for frying, baking, etc. For a more even cooking, you should cook your food with these grids, except in certain cases. For example, if I want to make lasagna in my air fryer and I don't have a dish that fits in my air fryer, you can cook directly in the basket. You just need to remove the grids to cook directly in the basket. Personally, I used to do that in my early days when I had air fryers. Now I've bought molds, accessories. I'll make a complete video on useful accessories and accessories not to buy, because I bought a bunch of accessories for the air fryer. Some accessories are great, useful, and not very expensive. There are others that are not very expensive, but not worth anything. Instead of letting you get ripped off, I'll do that in another completely independent video. Let's get back to the point. So, the chicken juice won't go into the cake because they've thought of everything. They've reinforced here to prevent it, and it won't happen. What I also appreciate about this model and what is practical are the handles here. Look. On each side, they've provided handles so you can easily slide the drawer in and out. So that's really practical. These handles are useful. Afterward, you might say that if you cook a chicken on one side and fries on the other, it must be annoying because to shake the fries basket, you have to take out the entire basket to shake it. Well, I found two solutions to this problem. Either the first solution, you take a spatula to stir your fries on the side of the fries, or the second solution, there are accessories with handles. You put your fries in it, and you just shake the accessory of the basket that will contain your fries. In itself, this could be a drawback, but for me, this drawback is not a deal breaker since there are solutions to it. I will give you all the internal and external dimensions of this air fryer without further ado. But before, I forgot to mention a little thing. Before the first use, it is recommended in the instruction manual to wash the baskets with soapy water before the first use. Once you have cleaned your air fryer basket well, you put it back. And what I always recommend doing, although it is not specified in the user manual, but it's always good to do, is to heat your two baskets, the complete basket, for about 5 to 10 minutes at a high temperature, maximum temperature. You can use, for example, the max crisp mode before the first use. You do this operation because when we receive new appliances, cooking appliances, it's good to do this because there is always a slight smell of plastic or residue, which is perfectly normal when you receive a new appliance. And in fact, doing this, heating your appliance, will remove any new residue or plastic smell, etc. So this is an operation that you are not obliged to do, but I personally recommend doing it based on my experiences. For the dimensions of the device, in depth, I will start from the handle since it protrudes. There is a handle reinforcement to the back of the device where we have this small plastic part that sticks out compared to the air fryer. We are about 29 centimeters deep, taking into account this small part to the handle. In length, I will also measure from handle to handle because it's the widest point. We are about 46 centimeters in width, and in height, we are 32.5 centimeters. And yes, after Malvi's cooking, Malvi's tinkering. No, I'm kidding. Here, I won't give you the dimension of the basket alone, but I will give you the dimension of the cooking space, so per basket and in MEGAZONE mode. So in MEGAZONE mode, we are 37.5 centimeters in length by 21.5 centimeters in width, okay? In height with the grids, we are about 13 centimeters, and in height without the grids, we are about 15 centimeters. Now, the dimensions with the separator, so the dimensions per basket for the cooking space, width 18 centimeters by 21.5 centimeters, and the height always the same, 13 centimeters with the grids, 15 centimeters without the grids. That's for you if you want to buy some dishes. I recommend glass dishes, they are the best. It doesn't alter the cooking, it's the best. Mine, well, I use these, look. They fit in perfectly, they come out perfectly, there's space around them. These molds, they measure 19.5 centimeters by 14 centimeters, and they fit in all my air fryers, even the smallest one of 7 liters 6. That's why, consequently, I like these ones. And in MEGAZONE mode, look, I have a big dish like this that I usually use. Sometimes when I use my oven, which is very rare, it fits perfectly. In the tray, there is space on the right, space on the left. There is room to retrieve your mold without any real difficulty. This one is a standard size. I'll tell you how big it is. It measures 33 centimeters by 19 centimeters. What I like about this air fryer is the possibility of a large tray to make skewers, roasts, large cakes, or to cook in 2 different trays. I also like the Ninja brand. I love Ninja. I have plenty of Ninja appliances. I trust their brand. My first air fryer, I tell you, it's been over 2 years since I got it. It's still running. I haven't had a scratch on it, no problems, so I can't complain. Their versatility, the products, you can do a lot of things. If you have an air fryer, don't just settle for making fries and chicken. With an air fryer, you can do a lot of things. I'll leave you my playlist. I made a playlist on YouTube specifically, all my air fryer recipes. Otherwise, you have the option to join my Facebook group. I created it 1 or 2 months ago. It's a new group specifically for air fryers so that we can share our recipes together. We must be a little over 11,000. It's crazy. So you can either join my group or check out my special air fryer recipes playlist. I did it in quick 1-minute videos, but you can make incredible desserts, meringues, yogurts, brookies, roasts, roast beef, lots and lots and lots of recipes. So it's versatile. It's faster than an oven. A few years ago, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, when I made my first air fryer video with the first air fryer I got from Ninja, the AF500, the blue one, I made a presentation video, and it seems to me that in the video, to be checked, but it seems to me that I said, you'll see in a few years, 2 or 3 years, every one where I had even released a percentage, because I like to release percentages that have no rhyme or reason, that I've never done. I've never interviewed anyone to answer my percentage, but in my head, it's like that. I don't remember what percentage I released. I like to release percentages from my head, but it seems to me that I said either everyone or 1 in 3 people will have an air fryer, or no, I said 2 out of 3 people will have an air fryer, or otherwise, I don't remember what I said, 80% of people will have an air fryer at home. And I think I didn't go too wrong, because honestly, everyone I see has an air fryer, or they ask me questions about the air fryer. It's become a craze. But in any case, it's faster than the oven, because already the surface is smaller to heat, so it takes less time. You save on preheating time and about 5 to 10 minutes on cooking. I think you save a good 15 minutes in total. Anyway, I like it. I don't find too many drawbacks. It's not very noisy. At least it doesn't bother me. Well, I'm half deaf in one ear. You're used to it with me, but you saw it in operation. It doesn't make too much noise. It's not excessive. I will, of course, leave the link to the product under the video in the description for those interested. If you have additional questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I'm here to answer you, advise you. I will be happy to respond to your comments. If you are also hesitating between several models, it's interesting to ask me the question in the comments, telling me what you already have at home as an appliance, how many people are in your family, and what type of recipe you want to make, so that I can target the right appliance for you. Many people come to me for this and are generally happy to have listened to my advice. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button at the bottom right of my video. If you haven't already, I'm going to introduce you to many more products. Here, it's a bit like teleshopping 3.0 Malvi's cooking style without beating around the bush. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video. It's always nice and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Don't be stingy. And I'll see you soon for new tests or new recipes. Bye. See you soon.